Good evening. Welcome to Karl Marx Does the Washing Up.
Where we ponder ludicrous, metaphysical nonsense in the time it takes to make 5 Tesco's basic microwave meals.
Good sentence. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Well delivered. Which is around 21 minutes.
I did elocution lesson. Elocution?
Elocution. I think you should ask for your money back, for sure. I'm Shy Telly.
And I'm Ilyas and Shy.
And today we're going to discuss why you're obsessed with truth.
Yeah.
And also why I'm completely not obsessed with truth.
So I realized, we kind of come to this podcast because we both have this, affinity for the absurd.
Yeah, that's true.
The philosophical and this kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
But I realized the more we podcast and the more we hang out, that your connection, you just want a ridiculous theory.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. You just want nonsense, ridiculousness. Or
I'm just chasing a story. I'm always chasing nonsense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas I love absurd kind of, theories and stuff, and I always want that because it opens up the cavities of the mind. But that's all based on some notion that I also want the truth, and I don't mind a theory being conventional
or a cliche
if it's true. My philosophical pursuit is a lot about this idea of finding truth and I think nonsense is so intrinsic to truth, and I think the idea of just having these ridiculous theories opens us up to this possibility that anything could be possible, and I feel there's something beautifully true in that. But I was also thinking why do I care so much about truth?
Yeah, because it does govern a lot of your life decisions.
Yeah.
Well, it probably governs them all, actually.
Yeah, I've got this real fixation with knowing reality and being part of that.
And being truth, right?
Being truth. But why do you just really have no regard for it? This is also quite absurd.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think for me, does it go to, honesty is so valued in society. People are always he's a bad guy, but he's honest. Or he's this, but at least he's honest, or whatever. And so I don't value honesty at all.
That's nonsense. You don't value honesty at all?
No.
What about in relationships where people are you really don't care if they tell you the truth about their feelings, about where they came from?
No, but truth about feelings it's already a lie. No feelings are true. We exaggerate all of our feelings. I'm so happy in this moment. I'm in love with this moment, right? We exaggerate all of our feelings.
So do you think that...
We exaggerate our emotions when we're trying to convey them, right?
So do you think there's no point in going towards some approximation of truth? You might as well just completely disregard it and tell
I don't think I'm telling...
So they're not levels of truth?
I think there are definitely levels of truth, but I wouldn't say that I'm telling lies. I wouldn't say that I would say that maybe I'm just living in a society. I'm just living in a way that I don't value honesty as much as everyone else.
Yeah. But so say there's this glass of water, it's sparkling water, and you call it just water, right? That's not a full truth, but it's not the same as calling it a wine.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, so which one is would you just call it wine? Or
I would just say it's water. I wouldn't say it's sparkling water. I would just say, do you want some water?
Okay. And then when I drink it, then it's
sparkling.
I'll spit it out.
Yeah, but then that's part of the joke.
Yeah, but so that's the whole thing. It's just existence as a whole is just a joke to you.
Yeah, for sure. And also, I think within we're obsessed with honesty in the terms of relationships. But my favorite relationships are the ones where we just, when we're together, we just enjoy the time that we're together, and then just whatever happens after that happens.
But how deep does that go? Is there not this important kind of understanding of someone's? You don't want to understand their core being. Yeah, the thing that makes that.
Yeah, but people are obsessed with this idea that you need to understand someone's core being in a relationship, and I do agree with that. But I don't want to do that in the first 10 dates. If I date someone long term for 2 or 3 years, then I would like the idea to really get to know their core. But I don't have any attraction to that initially. I don't want to find out someone's core being initially.
But why?
I just want to find out what's on the surface.
But why? Why do you want to just hover on the surface? Surely the interesting stuff, and I think that's kind of the most radical thing that we can do in our society in terms of absurdity is to actually kind of get to the core being so quickly, rather than...
Yeah, but when I've done that in the past, it just leads to attachment and dependency. So my theory is that if I hover on the surface and then delve into it slowly, it would create actual love.
Yeah, but do you ever let it go to the point where it gets to that core thing, or do you actually just hover and then give up?
Yeah, well, I'd probably hover and give up. Yeah, but no, but even when I do get to a core bit, I feel like I have to say I love you, rather than do I actually feel it.
No, but But why do you say? So you feel that you have to say you love you because we've been going out for 2 years? So
yeah, because we've reached that. I
we either
know
say I
your
love you
core,
or we break up.
Yeah, exactly. But also, that's why I don't value honesty, because I know that I can.
But I think this comes to for me, that honesty is. I mean, I think this comes because it is about intimacy. Like honesty, really. So I don't really know what comes first for me: intimacy or honesty. Truth.
Or truth. Okay.
But the reason I am so concerned with like understanding what the true nature of reality is because then I can connect to it. I want to be immersed in this experience of life, in this reality, whatever it is. And I want to be connected to it. And I don't know if it's because I want to be connected in order to know what it is, or I want to know what it is in order to be connected to it.
Yeah, you don't know which way around it is. Right?
Yeah. But I think, So, but the thing is, my notion of truth is like ineffable.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
so I do believe that.
Yeah.
I do believe that knowledge, like that, there isn't any distinct, assertable knowledge of this universe. So that's why all these theories like fascinate me as well, because I don't think anything can be said categorically true. We can't describe the whole of reality with sort of kind of
one theory,
linguistic or logical frameworks of.
No, exactly. But
is yours like a giving up on that based on that notion? No.
No, but like I said, mine's much more simplistic. I think we overvalue honesty in society, so I've chosen to disregard
Why do we overvalue it? Like, I mean, why do you say it's overvalued? Like, what's unvaluable about it?
No, I think we put too much stock in honesty. You know, like, we alleviate a lot of people's flaws because they're honest.
Wait, so if they're vulnerable and honest about their flaws, then we forgive them. And you think we shouldn't forgive them?
Yeah, like even like our whole legal system is based on the idea that if you're willing to accept guilt, you get a shorter sentence. Whereas if we prove to you that you've done the crime and you're saying you haven't done the crime, then you normally get a longer sentence.
Like, but that's not honesty, because that's like when you say if you accept that you're guilty when you're not guilty, that's dishonesty. No. So that's valuing dishonesty.
No, but if you accept that you're guilty and you are guilty, then you get a shorter, you get a shorter sentence, right? Like we value honesty above everything.
You still killed the person.
You still killed the person, right? Just because you're being honest about it doesn't mean.
Yeah, and you're not on trial for your honesty. You're on trial for your.
And that's what I'm saying. I think we overvalue honesty. We associate it with being kind and being nice and all of these things, but I think that's nonsense.
No, but I think it's great that we can have a system. I think it should be more. We should have a system where it's more saying that, yes, we are fallible beings. We don't behave perfectly very well, and so when you have somebody who's willing to accept that and like work on that and just say that, I am fallible. I've done it wrong.
Yeah.
Let me grow from this. I think that's great. No.
Yeah. No, but that is. But do you think that's where it's coming from?
What do you mean? What's?
Like, I've done wrong. I want to work on this.
Well, the question of, because some people will maybe say that or portray that in a dishonest way, and that's not honesty. That's not, right? Honesty has got to be from the center of the person being honest, and also honesty and truth are slightly different.
Yeah, right? I was going to say I don't know why we went to honesty actually.
Yeah, honesty is the intention of truth, regardless of what it manifests.
Yeah, right? Yeah, exactly.
Right, truth is this very grand concept.
Yeah, but one that you're obsessed with actually. So we didn't really got to the core of. So I know that you're obsessed with it, but how does it impact your life? Because like I know that we've both got this attraction to theories, and it opens, like you said, it opens a lot of theories. But how does it affect your real life?
Well, it's what makes me paint, write, dance with trees, make a podcast. Or no, maybe not make the podcast because it's not, but like explore these ideas at least.
Yeah,
maybe manifest at the podcast.
Yeah,
but I just find. And for me, language, I think this is maybe something which is not what most people do. People think that see philosophy as a way of describing reality or understanding what reality is. Or for me, it's just a way of using language in order to connect to the magnanimity of the universe and sort of revel in that awe and wonder. Yeah. But that's based on some idea that, on some level, I feel like I've discovered truth. Or something. In that,
but is it
in
truth?
that it's undiscoverable. In that it can never be discovered.
So you've discovered that truth is undiscoverable.
Yeah, and so then I can just. But there's a true way. I feel like.
Yeah, but if you
I
know
have
that,
an
then
idea
why are
of
you
what-
obsessed with it?
Well, because I feel like I have an.
Isn't that the ultimate theory? That it's undiscoverable? Then why do you keep trying to discover it?
Well, it's undiscoverable because it keeps changing. I think that's the main. That's the main thing.
Like, but it's not in a constant state of flux. Like, does it change from one?
Yeah, it does. Like so. For me, we can't have a theory that it describes the totality of reality because the totality of reality,
It's
when we
always
came up with the
changing.
theory,
Yeah.
no longer exists.
Yeah, for sure.
But also because language is, an abstraction of reality, not a mimicking of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So the way I generally see things is that kind of philosophy, mathematics, physics, they provide the context of existence, but existence itself lives within like the spaces of that thing. So I feel to some degree, I think that that's acknowledging that and like engaging in that is a decent path towards truth.
Yeah.
So when I just like try and be and like pay attention
like
to
that flow state.
the beingness of reality or that sort of untouchable, ineffable, that's when I'm getting to some truth. That's when I'm getting to some intimacy with life. And it just like life just feels more like deeper, real, like not so.
Yeah, but you're obsessed with the idea of feeling deeper and more
Yeah.
connected to things.
Yeah, but
Why?
I don't know.
Yeah, why?
Why?
No, but then maybe I'm no, but I.
But why? Yeah.
Why? Like conversely, why am I obsessed with not being connected to, like the life or like on a deeper level?
Well, I think on some level, they maybe both stem from fear. Like for me, I'm scared of not living a full enough life. Right?
How do you define a full life?
One in which I truly existed and paid attention to things and like had a decent sensory experience and like was loving and giving and all those sort of things. Loving and giving is like a kind of separate.
I was going to say,
thing.
yeah.
But I just feel that
When you say sensory, you mean like within nature. You mean like
Yeah.
of our surroundings, like not necessarily like watch great movies or whatever.
well, all of it, whatever. It's like going to a Chinese buffet and just eating rice. I don't want to do that.
Who does
Right?
that?
Who does that?
No one does
exactly.
that.
But that's what I'm saying. I feel like
Oh, so you feel like
like if I'm there, I've got to have the kung pao chicken and the chow mein.
yeah. So that's interesting. So you think my existence is not living a full life
Well,
because I'm just hovering on the surface of reality. I'm not trying to go. I'm not
sounds
trying
bad,
to delve
but kind
into it.
of.
Yeah, no, I think that's really fascinating because I wouldn't see myself as not living a full life.
Yeah, and the irony is that if we went to Chinese buffet, you would eat everything.
Yeah, exactly. I would eat
this.
everything. Yeah, but that's because
This is pork. This is got sugar.
yeah, but that's because I'm hovering on the surface of
Yeah,
everything,
yeah.
right? I'm willing to try everything.
Yeah. But so I think the analogy is maybe not so good, but it is quite good.
Yeah,
In a
yeah.
way.
Like a Chinese
I think
buffet.
it's about the vertical rather than the horizontal. So I think there's this idea. I used to live very horizontally. So what I mean by horizontally is like
means that
all the different things, tasting everything. So you can date like 300 women, right? And then you'll taste, that's like quite a good buffet.
Yeah.
Unless if they're all Chinese, then maybe not.
I'm confused. Like, do you want to go to a Chinese buffet? Is that what's happening again?
Always.
Oh wait,
Always.
I am quite hungry.
Yeah.
Okay.
And no, but I think maybe what I want to do is that when I eat that kung pao chicken, I really want to eat that kung pao chicken, And I'm just like, at the end of my life, I want when somebody says, "What did the kung pao chicken taste like?" I don't want to be like.
At your
Wait,
funeral,
what? I
I'm gonna
don't
ask
want to
that
be.
question.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I don't know. I can't remember. I had like too many other dishes. I can't remember. I just want to be like, dude, that kung pao chicken, man. Huh?
This
And then
is
somebody
actually-
just to say that's not Chinese food. So that's just like appropriated Western version of Chinese food. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, but dude, it was good.
This is actually, you know what? I'll give you credit. That it's actually quite a good analogy. But maybe it comes down again to choice. Like I'm not content at just having the kung pao chicken.
Well, so I'm like that as well. Like, and I used to be more like this. But so when what happened to me is just that basically I lived a very, very kind of like high energy life.
Yeah, chaotic. Right?
Chaotic
Yeah.
and stuff. And then I got sick and I was forced into a reality where I had to sit still.
Yeah.
And had to kind of find a way to, in a way, live that same sort of
chaotic
reality,
life,
that
yeah.
adventurous spirit that I always had, or that
Yeah, yeah.
idea of like wanting to taste everything, or